What's good, family? What's good? What's good? How's everybody tonight? Welcome, tag and share, share and tag. Tag and share, share and tag. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. Let people know that we're on the air. Almighty, we thank you for this wondrous opportunity. Lead us and guide us. We open ourselves up to be fully led by you. We glorify you. We magnify you. Your will is done in partnership with us, and we bless you in Yeshua's name, by his nurtured name, power and consciousness. It is so, and so it is. Welcome, welcome, tag and share, share and tag. Speak as you come in, tag and share, share and tag. Speak as you come in, tag and share, share and tag. I'm so glad to be with you all on this particular evening. What a honor and a privilege it is to speak with you. Tag and share, share and tag. Tag and share and tag. Tag and share and tag. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tagging and sharing and tagging. So honored and privileged to be with you here on tonight. You're made in the image and likeness of an almighty creator. You are not limited. You're limitless. You're not powerless. You're powerful. And so I want you to join me by typing in the comments section, I am powerful. And don't just type it, own it, feel it, breathe it. Let that energy flow through you as you're typing. And I am powerful. Come on, declare it and decree it. Speak it in the atmosphere of the environment that you're in right now. Type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. That's it. I am powerful. I am powerful. Yes, yes, I own the power. I have permission from God to be great. I have permission from God to be marvelous. I have permission from God to be dominant. I have permission from God to be divine. Therefore, I am powerful. Oh, what an awesome thing it is to embrace the power, to know the power, to be the power. Yes, yes, to be in partnership with the Almighty and be this powerful. It is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. Continue to tag and share, share and tag. I won't be on too long tonight. But from my perspective, whenever I stream, it is about you and the Almighty, always. But tonight, it is most definitely about you. It is most definitely about you and you and you. So I want you to type it in the comment section. Tonight, it's about me. Come on, type it in the comment section. Tonight, it's about me. Type that in the comment section. Tonight, it's about me. It is about me. Type that in the comment section. Tonight, it's about me. Do that for me because it is about you. It is about you tonight. I want to see and know exactly how you are doing on this particular evening. It's about you. Indeed, it is. That's right. That's right. Don't be ashamed to say that. I know some of you all are in situations and circumstances where people have made it about them and not about you when it ought to be about you, but they've decided to make it about them. But that's not the case here. Tonight, this night, this evening, it is about you. Thank you so much for typing that in the comment section. And I'm making it about you. This is what I'm calling a check-in. A check-in. This is a check-in. Type it in the comment section. We're checking on each other tonight. Type it in the comment section. We're checking on each other tonight. We're checking on each other tonight. Type that in the comment section. We are checking on each other tonight. That's what we're doing. We're checking on each other tonight. We're checking on each other tonight. Thank you so much for typing that in the comment section. Now, typically, y'all know how we do it. How I do it, I teach and expound, share nuggets and principles with you. I thought about actually talking about some Hermetic principles tonight, along with some other things. But I decided, as I was seeking guidance, that I would just take some time in a more direct way to check in on you. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to put a series of questions up, and we're going to have some dialogue. How does that sound? We're going to have some dialogue, and from your responses, I'm going to give you some advice. And if there's any time along the way you also have questions, then feel free to share those questions. That's right. Give us some likes and hearts here. Put some likes and hearts up. Remember, your likes and your hearts always impact the algorithm in a positive way. In a positive way. So this is a check-in evening. In a few minutes, I am going to um, officially check in on you to see how you're doing. And as I said, I'll put a series of questions up and we'll discuss it. I want to remind you to join us on Revolution Inc. by visiting AG Green Now. That's patreon.com/AG Green Now. That's our spiritual community that we're building online. And again, thank you for your patience. I'm going to update some things tomorrow. I have to schedule out my time since at this point I do a lot of this stuff myself, but I am constantly creating content from about various different things. I'm getting ready to venture into some subjects that most of you all are not familiar with, and I'll start talking about it on Patreon. I put some teasers on social media and start talking about it on Patreon. So I want to encourage you all to join me there. You can join for free, but there are also paid levels where I'm going to start releasing information only for those levels only. Again, I'm so delighted that you're with us on tonight. And this is about you. I'm going to check on you tonight. You are on my heart and my mind, and I kind of want to see how you are, what you're doing on your journey. Everybody is on a personal journey. Everybody is on a personal journey. Whether you understand that or not, everybody is on a personal journey. And whether you understand it or not, we all need some kind of assistance and guidance on this journey. So we won't be, you know, maybe not, doing all of the other stuff we normally do, because I'm going to focus directly on you. And if you have any questions or concerns, when you put it in the comment section, matter of fact, I can even send some of y'all an invitation. You can join me on screen, but I know most of you don't want to do that. So I'm getting ready to ask my first question in a few minutes. So what you're going to do is respond in the comment section to the question that I'm going to ask you. Okay, you're going to respond in the comment section to the question that I'm going to ask you. But the first thing I want to put up is a wonderful biblical text where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. So tonight, we're just going to provide some guidance to those who want it. You get to ask me questions, all right? Hopefully you'll ask me questions based on your life or based on the subject matter of things you're dealing with. But I'm going to start out asking you questions because I want to know how you're doing. And isn't it the truth? Isn't it the truth? It's kind of like I mentioned in the afternoon presentation on Sunday. You can be connected to people and they don't have a clue as to what's going on with you. Isn't it the truth? You can be surrounded by family and still feel alone. You can be surrounded by people and yet feel isolated or misunderstood. Other people around you can appear to have a lot of joy, and you can be miserable. You can be miserable in the company of people who are laughing and talking. I know I'm telling the truth. Sometimes life can be challenging. Sometimes life can be difficult. And I found that those challenges and difficulties come from our interpretation of life. And our interpretation of life, of course, is based on our beliefs, our core beliefs, our self concept, and our concepts of God. It's your state of consciousness that I always talk about. And that's why I'm always trying to contribute in a positive way things that are going to alter your state of consciousness in the most positive way possible. Because once your state of consciousness shifts, then you shift. Once you shift, then reality shifts. Things are in alignment with you, whether you know it or not. In alignment, and of course, at times out of alignment. And I kind of, as I've grown to understand that this is the way reality is created. This is the way reality um, works. And so I kind of want to give you an understanding of how to enhance your state of consciousness, which enhances your state of being, which directly impacts your reality. And of course, religion doesn't always do that in the best way possible for us. So tonight, I'm going to just be checking on you. I'm going to be checking in with you. That's what this is based on. I'm not going to do much teaching unless you ask me a question. If you ask me a question, I will answer your question. I will gladly answer your question. But for the most part, I'm going to be checking on you because everybody needs somebody to check on them. And then sometimes you need somebody who may have a more objective view or has the ability to be objective in how they deal with you and how they approach you and how they handle your questions and how they handle whatever challenges or issues you're going through. Okay. So I'm going to put the first question up. Are y'all ready? Type if you're ready. Type I'm ready if you're ready. Type I'm ready if you're ready. This is a dialogue tonight. This is a dialogue tonight. So it won't be just a diatribe. It will be a dialogue, and it won't be a monologue. It will be a dialogue. So I'm going to put the first question up. And of course, there's no pressure. There's no pressure. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. But I'm here to serve you in whatever capacity I can tonight. So this is a check-in, which means I'm trying to see how you're doing. And I want to see whatever it is I can do to help facilitate whatever it is that you're dealing with. Okay, so I'm getting ready to put the first question up. And then this is open for everybody. So here's the first question. How are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? So talk back to me. Tell me, how are you feeling today? I'm checking to see how you're feeling today. And remember, there is no judgment here. I don't judge people here. Your questions, excuse me, the answer to your questions are based on your reality, based on what you feel. Who am I to judge you for how you feel about your own life? All right, somebody said tired and irritable. Okay. Tired and pushing. Okay. Good answers. So, if I may ask, why are you tired today? Why are you tired? I'm curious. Just tell me, have you been working all day? Is it a mental fatigue? Is it a physical fatigue? Let's see. Pamela's encouraged. Awesome, Miss Pamela. Carolyn Klutz. Thank you, Carolyn. She says, grateful, no complaints. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So those who are tired, is it mental and physical, mental or physical? Is it both? Is it something else? And you don't have to get too personal, but why are you tired? Why would you say you're tired? Okay, we see we got an answer here. Working plus mental makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Shinray Perkins says thankful. Awesomeness. Anyone else? Let's see. And she says she hasn't rested in the past few nights. Okay. We might can get into that in a couple of minutes if you have any questions about that. Anyone else kind of have an idea of why you are tired? Okay. Krista says, my Krista, mental fatigue. Got it. All right. Pamela says it's hump day. Well, that might make some of us tired because it's hump days. So if you've got questions surrounding that, maybe if there is something going on in your mind or you want to discuss, or if there's something you can't pinpoint that's making you restless, please don't hesitate to bring it up. Let's see. Andrew's on YouTube. He says, feeling excited and optimistic. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, I'm going to go to my second question. What was the best part of the past week? What was the best part of the past week in your life, or the best part of the past week? Talk to me. The best part of the past week. I'm trying to think, what was the best part of my past week? What was the best part of my past week? I was in my bag, focused on some things that I'm developing, doing some writing. Maybe I would consider that the best part of my past week. Talk to me about the best part of your past week. I want to hear about it. What was the best part of your past week? What was the best part? Some of y'all thinking like me, scratching your head. Some of you work. Did you have good times at work? Did you have good times with your family? Did you have good times with your children? Were you out in public? Were you in school? Were you with family? Were you with friends? Talk to me. The best part. Oh, all right. Awesomeness. Krista says her mom came in town to help out. Wonderful. 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 Let's see. Hillary took a trip. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. Y'all on it tonight. Let's see. Question number 3. What was the hardest part of the past week? What was the hardest part of the past week? Tell me, what was the hardest part of the past week? Let's see. Andrew says he made some progress on the soon release of his cookbook. All right. All right. So tell me, what was the hardest part of your past week? I had a couple of emotional storms last week. I guess maybe I could consider that a challenging part, dealing with some of those thoughts. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see what Hillary means. She says sitting in donation. What was that? Talk back to me, Hillary. Uh, Andrew says the hardest part of his past week was getting out of bed. Yes, that could be difficult. Oh, she says means sitting in Sykeston. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. Dr. Childs, was that a question 2 or question 3 you're answering? The best part of your last week. Want to make sure. Let's see. Shimei Perkins says she had surgery. All right. I hope you're recovering well from that surgery. Hope you're recovering well. Pamela says, trying to decipher if people are coming with genuine love. Wow. That's pretty heavy duty. Yeah, that could be challenging. Chris is saying, trying to stay positive and on task. Yeah. Sometimes we just lose focus, don't we? Sometimes we just have things show up in our lives that are distracting. I think Dr. Childs is saying the best part of her last week was listening to her baby's prayers. I think that's what she means. Oh, she said, no, it is number 3. Okay, number 3. Okay. It is number 3. I'm sorry. So that was the hardest part of your past week, Dr. Childs? Okay. Okay. And feel free at any time to ask questions based on the questions I'm asking you. And if you want some advice or guidance, I'll be happy to give it to you. And Carolyn says, staying grounded as I finish the school year. Yes. Yes. It's like I've been there in many years academically. And when you are close to the end of that school year, sometimes your mind is taxed. It has expended a lot of types of cognitive energy, and you're worn out. You're worn out and your mind just wants to escape. So I definitely understand that for sure. Okay, we're at question number 4. How often do you feel excited, happy, loved, safe, hopeful, angry, lonely, sad, or frustrated? Good question. Remember, there's no judgment here for your answers. No judgment here. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Dr. Child says she lost her dad. Okay, that It would be heartbreaking hearing. Yes, I can only imagine what that would be like. Okay. Absolutely. That would be heartbreaking. I'm impacted just by thinking about that. Mm, okay. Okay. So, question number 4, how often, and we're sorry to hear that concerning her father. Sorry to hear that. All right. So, how often do you feel excited, happy, loved, safe, hopeful? And out of those questions, so Pamela says probably every day. Okay. Every day. This is a good question. And I actually got this off of a psychological website. I went instead of creating my own questions because I wanted something to appeal to your psychology that would stimulate and impact you in that way. All right. This is a good battery of tests. This number 4 is a good battery of tests because it shows the range of emotions you're feeling. And if you are stuck in a spectrum of emotions limited, then it would be an indication that some inner work would need to be done. So, all right. Somebody said happy daily, happy almost daily. Okay. Let's see. Happy daily. She says a lot frustrated, a little more positives than anything. Okay. I think I experience these emotions daily. Okay. All right. She said never lonely. All right. Wonderful. 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 So I'll pause here to say there's nothing wrong with any feeling any of these emotions. Let me say it again. There's nothing wrong with feeling any of these emotions. And if you don't feel any of these, that's great. If you do feel any of these, that's great too. You and I were created with the capacity and the ability to experience feelings and emotions, and they aren't the same, but they are akin to each other. We have the capacity for that. So we should not suppress that. We should not suppress that. And I think the deception is that sometimes people of faith think that they're not really solid persons of faith or faithful people or strong in their faith if they experience sadness or frustration or worry. And it's just not the truth. We all deal with these things. We all deal with these experiences. Yeshua in the garden asked for the cup to pass from him. He did not want to uh, experience what he was about to endure, experience what he was about to deal with. All right. Let's see. Somebody says frustrated, worried lately, and feel loved daily. Wonderful, wonderful. So if you're experiencing these range of emotions, it's not an issue. The question is, how much do they dominate those 12,000 to 50,000 thoughts that they say we have in the course of a day? And remember, I believe we get this right, 90% of those thoughts are, I believe, repetitive, and I think it's 80% of those thoughts are negative. So the question is, if you're happy and feel loved and feel safe and feel hopeful, that's also good to analyze why. And if you are having dominant thoughts of being angry, lonely, sad word, or frustrated, why? In cognitive behavioral therapy, it's called metacognition. It's when you analyze your thoughts. It's when you perform self-analysis on every thought that comes to your mind. Don't be afraid to trace the origin of things. I'm gonna say it again. Don't be afraid to trace the origin of things. Again, religious people are taught to shout over stuff, fast over stuff, quote scriptures over stuff, run down the aisles and feel happy and excited and let the touch, you know, black out and blot out everything. But how many of you all know that that doesn't work for most of the people? Because, for example, if you're dealing with the after effects of rape, when you get up off that floor, you might feel better. But days later, if that rape is still on your mind and the perpetrator is still haunting you, that means it requires a different kind of assistance in order to deal with that. If you are frustrated because of betrayal, or if you're frustrated because of self hate, if you're frustrated because of low self esteem, it's good to trace that, right? You've tried the normal things, the normal spiritual practices or and you're still in the same place. So what that means is something else must be done to address it. So I say to you again, there's nothing wrong with experiencing anything on this scale that I just mentioned. Do not be ashamed and do not allow anybody to cause you to feel ashamed. You know, one of the things I learned in talking to strong people is that number one, they have a difficult time admitting vulnerabilities, especially when people have had to take care of themselves, especially when people have been betrayed, rejected, hurt, and wounded. They don't sometimes don't want people to think they need anybody or anything, and they don't want anybody to know when they're feeling pain or discomfort. But let me share something with you. There's nothing wrong with experiencing any of these things. There's nothing wrong with encountering any of these things. All right. As a matter of fact, the scripture says, therefore, confess your faults one to another and pray one for another that ye may be healed. After that, it says, the effectual, fervent prayer of the righteous man availeth much. All right. And the scripture we put up earlier talks about there being safety. There's safety in a multitude of counselors. So if you're experiencing these things, it's all right. It's not an issue. It's just a part of life. All right. This is your check-in tonight. I got to check on my people. As one preacher I used to know growing up used to say, peoples. I got to check on my peoples. All right. Number 5. What's your favorite way to relax or de-stress? What's your favorite way to relax or de-stress? Listen, there's no judgment here tonight. Don't y'all be judging folk on this live, because sometimes we have all kinds of folks who come in and out on the live. You know, what's your favorite way to relax or de-stress? Talk to me. What's your favorite way to relax or de-stress? De-stress. What do you do? You know, some people don't know how to relax or de-stress. What's your favorite way to do it? I know some of y'all might be scared to say it. You don't have to say it if you don't want to say it. Some of y'all might be using weed. I'm not judging you here. No judgment zone here, but I'm just curious. What is your favorite way to relax or de-stress? Let's see. Somebody said music. Wonderful. Somebody said they love water. Oh, that's in. And swimming. Awesome. Awesome. I wish I was a better swimmer. Okay, that's good. That's good. Who else? Let's see. Carolyn says she walked 2 to 3 miles almost every day. Wonderful. I need to get back to that. That's what I'm talking about. Good. Good. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? What's your favorite way to relax and de-stress? And listen, for people who are watching who are not commenting, solitude. Yes, I like that too. I like that too. Let's see. Somebody said smoke, music, workout. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? So I want you to see some of the things that people are using to de-stress. Now, can anybody tell me what happens to people? Somebody said, I'd like to get away. Awesome. Awesome. So in your opinion, what happens to people who don't know how to relax or de-stress? Talk back to me. Talk back to me. In your opinion, what happens to people who don't relax or know how to relax and de-stress? Y'all talk back to me. I want to hear your answers because I know y'all know some stuff. And Andrew's on YouTube. He says meditation, a good flick, and instrumentals and walks. All right. The child says an overload. Absolutely. Who else? What happens when we don't relax or de-stress? You get stressed out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Who else? Who else? Carolyn, now she's married to a medical doctor. She says sickness, increased blood pressure, poor health. 100% true. Sickness, increased blood pressure. You see that last one? Poor health. There's a psychosomatic connection. There's a mind-body connection. If your mind is stressed, it makes its ways down to your cellular level and into the tissues. Let's see. Lynn says health problems, bad communication with others. Wonderful, wonderful. And they said when you have had enough, you explode. Okay, that's true. Anybody else? You live on the edge. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to ask you another question. It's not in my list of questions, and I'm almost done with our questions. But I want to ask you another question. Why do you think people have a challenge with relaxing and de-stressing? Why do you think people have a challenge with relaxing and de-stressing? Somebody needs to hear these answers that we've shared. You don't want that build up in your body. You don't want that build up within. Okay. Somebody said guilt. That's a great answer to start with because there are a lot of people who feel guilty for whatever reason. It might be something from their past. It might be the people who model before them. They may have never relaxed or de-stressed. They could have a mentality that relaxing means laziness or relaxing means selfishness. Who knows? But yes, some people feel guilty when they relax. Matter of fact, some people don't even feel like they deserve to relax or de-stress. Okay, let's see here. The next one is always feel like you need to be doing something and it's tiring. Absolutely. Absolutely. Some people do feel like they always need to be doing something. And if you're not doing something, you're not being productive. People do feel like that. Let's see. Here's another one. They said they don't know how to or to say no. So true. Some folks, not only do they not know how to relax, but they don't know how to say no. Woo-hoo. Andrew's on YouTube. He says, makes them feel unproductive, don't feel worthy. Absolutely. Do you know there are people who define themselves by their activities? They define themselves by their work. They define themselves by motion. They define themselves by things that they do. And if they're not doing anything, they feel like I'm unworthy, I'm unproductive, I'm not contributing, I'm wasting time. And so they don't rest and they don't relax and they don't de-stress. Okay. And they don't take the time that they should take for themselves. These are all great answers. So we saw that it's going to affect your health in some kind of way if you don't relax and de-stress. Okay. It is going to affect you, spirit, soul, and body, if you don't relax and de-stress. You've got to learn how to relax and de-stress. I'll never forget, I've shared this story before. Years ago, went to visit Tybee Island, and we went to this mall in Savannah, and they did like these massages. You sat in a chair, and it was Asians, and they do these massages on you. I can't remember. I think the massage is supposed to last like 20 and 30 minutes. And I'll never forget. And I've gotten a couple of those in my life. But the Asian said to me as he was trying to massage my shoulders, and I had been on vacation 2 or 3 days. Too tense, so tense. Oh, so tense. Oh, you so tight, so tight, so tight. I kind of chuckled to myself because I'm going to be honest. It took me years to learn how to de-stress. I just get wrapped up, and it's like that stress gets trapped, wound up tight is what they call it. Type A and all these other type of personalities that align with that. It's difficult sometimes for me to unwind because I'm a thinker and a doer. So some of y'all, you have had some great answers here. Let's see. Somebody says they tell themselves I always have something to do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Some folks say they don't have enough time. This is what Andrew is saying from YouTube. Absolutely. Absolutely. So a holistic approach to self-care, as she's mentioning here, is very important. So listen to this. Relaxation is good, right? De-stressing is good. And all those activities, some of the activities that y'all mentioned help you do that. But also, it's good for the body when we eat nutritious foods, when we eat good, healthy foods, live foods will also help with the de-stressing process. All right. Because it is very difficult for your body to deal with this unhealthy, dead, lifeless food that we are eating. Keep that in mind. That's a part of the holistic approach. All right. So meditate, get away, do the things that help relax you. as Dr. Childs is mentioning, self-care is very important. Self-care is very important. Let's type that in the comments section. Self-care is the best care. Type that in the comments section. Self-care is the best care. Type that in the comments section. Self-care is the best care. So I'm checking on you tonight. And if there's anything you might have questions about, put it in the comment section. We got some wonderfully skilled, intelligent people on the live here. They could help me answer your questions. All right. So for those who might be struggling with relaxing, understand rest is very important. It's vital to your physiology. It's vital to your anatomy. It's vital to the mind for you to learn how to relax. How to relax. Okay. So let me ask another question. It's not in my list of questions, and I'm gonna get to the rest of them. Let's see. I think I only got 2 more questions. Awesome. Only got 2 more questions. So I'm going to ask this next question. And just asking, do you have any plans before the year is out to maybe take 2 or 3 days off to relax or de-stress? Talk back to me. Do you have any plans? Does anybody have any plans before the year is out to relax or de-stress? And if you do, what are those plans? I'm just curious to hear what those plans are. Talk back to me. Again, hear what I'm saying today. You've got to rest and relaxation recharges, revitalizes, and renews you. Some of this depression you're carrying, you'll feel better if you de-stress. Some of these weights you're carrying, you'll feel better if you get away. All right. Look at Lynn. Lynn says she's going to Japan. Watch out, Lynn. That's good. That's good. Okay, I got some yeses here. I got some absolutelys. Absolutely. Absolutely. You've got to know that you are worthy. You are worthy of taking care of yourself. You are worthy of experiencing the best. All right? You've got to know that. You've got to believe that. Sometimes, let me say this to people, especially people who are caretakers, who have children or other people that they have a responsibility to take care of. Let me make this point to all you wonderful caretakers. You wonderful caretakers. And Carolyn says she's got 2 cruises planned. Awesomeness. And a mission trip. Wonderful. Wonderful. To you caretakers, or you people who have great responsibilities, I pose this question to you. Who is going to step in and handle all your responsibilities if you break down? Who? Some of you might have somebody, some of you might not have somebody. But people typically say, well, I'm doing this. I got to keep going for my children. I got to keep going for my mama. I got to keep going for my brothers and sisters. I got to keep going because this business needs me. Okay. What happens if you break down? There's a couple of answers. One, you might be replaced. Okay. 2, if everything is really dependent on you, then it's possible that those things you've been holding up are going to fall apart. If it's going to fall apart when you fall apart, then that's got to be motivation for you to do what you can to take care of yourself. I've talked to people that didn't want to go to the doctor, didn't want to get checked out, didn't want to do this because I got to do this for my son. I got to do this. And my question is, what happens if you disappear? What happens if you die? What happens if you end up in the hospital? So self-care, having permission to love yourself. People skipped over this in scripture. It says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. You have permission from God to love yourself. You are permitted to love yourself just like you are permitted to take care of yourself. I want you to type it in the comment section. I have permission from God to love me. Type it in the comment section. I have permission from God to love me. Or you can say myself if you want to, however you want to phrase it in the English language. Come on, type it in the comment section. I have permission from God to love me or to love myself. Type that for me. I want you to type it and I want you to speak it out loud because you do. You are powerful. You are dynamic. You have callings. You have assignments. But if somehow you work your way or work yourself to death or work yourself into poor health, then you're not going to complete that assignment. I need you to hear me. I need you to hear me. You have responsibility. When I talk to you about reality, I talk to you about co-creating reality with God. I don't put everything on God. I don't even think the scripture says put everything on God. You are the offspring of an almighty being. You partner with God. You've got to take care of yourself. Why am I saying this? Because I've seen people who love God who did not take care of themselves. Watch this. They had a lot of prophecies hanging over their head and they dropped dead. I'm going to say it again. They had a lot of prophecies hanging over their head and they dropped dead. So love yourself enough to take care of yourself. Never think God has an issue with you loving you. And I know folks get nervous when you start talking about loving you, but hear me. You're going to always put the Almighty first. Secondly, a true, omnipotent, all-knowing being, I know it's jealousy is mentioned in scripture, but he really doesn't have a need to be jealous of anything. He's secure within himself. So you can't do anything to make him think he's not as important as he needs to be because he's secure within his own self. So you have permission to be great and you have permission to love yourself. Come on, let's type that. I have permission from God to be great. Hallelujah. Type that in the comment section. I have permission from God to be great. Come on, type that in the comment section. I have permission from God to be great. Listen. That's a word in itself because some people will stay in the background on purpose. They will try and remain anonymous on purpose. They will dumb down themselves or limit themselves on purpose just to fit. No, you have permission from God to be great. Listen, if you're good at math, you're just good at math. If you're a leader, you're just a leader. If you know how to flow with God and go with God, you just know how to flow and go. If you're an organizer, you're just an organizer. Come on now. Whatever talent, gift, and ability that you have, you just have it. No, we don't have to shout that to the world. We just do it. We just perform it. We just are it. We embody it. And we have this ability to use it. Number 6, almost done. Number 6, good question. Good question here. Number 6. Is there anything you need to forgive yourself for? Is there anything you need to forgive yourself for? You don't have to type that in the comment section. You could just type yes or no. I don't want to know the specifics. Is there anything you need to forgive yourself for? Now, let me elaborate on this. It is of vital importance that you become comfortable enough with yourself and comfortable enough with your idea and concept of God that you'll learn how to forgive yourself. Now, let me say this. When I was speaking at my brother's anniversary this past Sunday, I didn't have time. I never finished messages. I just quit. And I didn't get a chance to emphasize as much as I would have liked to concerning the illusion of time and how we empower time. What I wanted to mention Sunday was, do you know that timekeeping, as far as recent history, our knowledge of historicity is concerned, began about 5,000 years ago. And it's believed that the Babylonians and the Egyptians were the first timekeepers. according to verifiable records. So what that means is that there was a group of people who existed before time was measured who did not live by time. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because if you have not forgiven yourself concerning something that happened in the past, understand this. From a physical standpoint, it no longer exists. From a natural standpoint, it no longer exists. And it's kind of like I mentioned, the past exists in your mind, the past exists in textbooks, and the past exists in geology. And what I mean by that is the earth and its formations, hieroglyphs, and things like that that are imprinted in the earth are historical records. But hear me, the people who wrote those glyphs or hieroglyphs or the impressions and indentations that happen that the earth has recorded over time, those people are no longer present when those things happen. As it relates to you and I personally, if we're having a difficult time forgiving ourselves, then there is a moment that happened in what we call the past. All right. So now is a descendant of the past, and the past is an ancestor of now. But what I want you to understand is that if you try and make the past and now one, or if you in the now relive moments of the past, you are more likely to impress it upon the next now moment, which would be your future, which means that your belief, your understanding, your perception about whatever it is that happened to you in the past, the only way it can live is if you resurrect it, is if you feed it, is if you give it life, even down to its impact on you. Whew, I hope somebody heard what I just said. It is important that we forget those things that are behind and reach forward to those things that are before. The word forgetting comes from a word in Greek, which means to lose out of mind, to lose out of mind. And I encourage people to confront, Lord have mercy. Let me tell you how powerful this is. I feel this. Let me tell you how powerful this is. Yes, the three dimensions of time don't exist in the spirit, they don't exist in the metaphysical. These are human contrivances, human creation. I don't even believe God created it, honestly. We talk about seven, that's the anthropological understanding of dates and times. I don't even want to get into that. But what I do know is that time is not your master, and the events that happen at a certain point in what we call time is not meant to master you in the present. You are to master it. Hear me. Sometimes perpetrators are dead and gone in the physical, but they live within us in the mental. Events are dead and gone in the natural, but they still live within us in the mental. I want you to hear what I'm saying. From the mental state of consciousness is where we contribute to reality creation. So if I'm still hurting from something that happened 10 years ago, then I activated in the now. So I'm hurting in the now. But not only that, it is affecting my cognitive structure. It is affecting my psychological construct. It is affecting the way I think now, which means it could affect the way I see people, the way I judge people, the way I trust or distrust people, the way I love or not love my own self. In the now, watch this. When in the natural sense, it's a dead event. It's only alive in your mind. Lord have mercy. I feel like running right now. I'm gonna say it again. It's only alive in your mind. You say you don't know the pain I'm feeling. Yes, you. That's right. It's you who are feeling that pain. It's a very real pain. But the question to you is, how long will you allow that pain to continue without dealing with it? That's the question. Because it should not be dominating your present state. It should not be contributing to your present state of consciousness. The reason why some people are missing out on things in life is because they're too busy holding on to painful experiences of the past. Let me help you with something. Let me help you with something. If you reframe what happened in the past, trust me, it will change the way you think about it in the future, in the present, which means your future will not be impacted by that. I'm going to say it again. If you reframe what happened in your past, meaning you address it, you deal with it, and then you put it to bed, so to speak, as they say, it will no longer have power in your presence. Your present, it will no longer have power in this now reality. And you will not take it into the future with you. Talk back to me if I'm making any sense to anybody. Talk back to me. So watch this, and I'm done with that, and I'm gonna move to the next thing. Listen, if you're still feeling pain about something, watch this. They can hook your brain up to things and see brainwave patterns and how you're being impacted. They can take vitals and see your blood pressure elevated and other things respond to this stress that you're generating, hear me, about a past event. But watch this. Nobody can see the event and nobody can feel the event but you, unless they're empathic or connected spiritually. Because sometimes that happens to those of us who walk in a certain dimension in the spirit. We can't feel people's pain. I'm not talking about that. But you are the one that's living the experience. Nobody else is. You're the one that's living that reality. Nobody else is. And guess what? You're the one that's still suffering because of that reality. And yes, sometimes there are other people who are suffering because of your reality, because you're suffering and they see your suffering, or your suffering has caused you to treat people differently. So sometimes they are impacted by that. Sometimes there is a cascade effect, a domino effect. But what I want you to understand is that the past only really exists in your mind. Lord have mercy on my soul. So if you do not want it to dominate your present, and if you do not want it to dominate what we call your present moment and your future time, then pause if you got to go to a counselor. Pause if you got to confess. Pause if you got to see a coach, a life coach. Pause and get some guidance. Learn some coping mechanisms. Learn how to recognize the only way it can dominate you today is if you let it dominate you today, is if you believe it's dominating you today. Taken from scriptural text, as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you keep thinking this, then you are what you are thinking. You are becoming, you have become what you are thinking. You are manifesting what you're thinking and believing. If you still believe you're a victim, you are a victim, even though it's 25 years ago. If you still think you made a left turn and it changed your life forever, you're still reaping the benefits of that left turn you changed. Some of y'all say, I should have never married him. I should have never went down this road. I should have never done this, that, and other. Listen. Don't worry about that moment. That moment is gone. That moment should be deceased. That moment is non-existent from a scientific point of view. It only exists in you. But if you can learn in the moment to just even regurgitate Romans 8:28 and say that it's working for you good, or start believing, like Rumi said, that it's rigged to work in your favor. If you can adopt this belief, then you will start seeing rise from within yourself a better solution, a better pathway, a clearer pathway, more opportunities. Some people are stopping their own opportunities because they think that that one thing that happened in life that they missed is the only time they could have it. Lord have mercy. I know I just said a word. I got to stop. Let me get to number 7. Am I talking too much? Let me get to number 7. Let me get to number 7. Let me get to number 7. What are you grateful for today? This is the last question. This is the last question. What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? Talk to me, family. What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? I thank y'all so much for being so honest and transparent tonight. What are you grateful for today? Tell me, what are you grateful for today? I want to hear the things you're grateful for. Remember, praise, worship, also called gratitude, practicing thanksgiving. It's not just a spiritual thing, but there are serotonin, dopamine, all these things in your brain get involved when you're thankful and when you are grateful. And as I say to you all the time, you don't realize that you're a transmitter and a receiver. Yes, you are transmitting things into the world, you are transmitting things into the universe, and you're also receiving things. Gratefulness. What are you grateful for today? Andrew says he's grateful for love. All right, awesomeness. Hillary says Buffalo Wild Wings fries. Yes, yes, sounds good. Mm-hmm. Sounds delicious. Not so much to a vegan like myself, but yes. What are you grateful for? Let's see. Carolyn says life, her family, health and strength. Awesome. A sound mind. That sound mind is important. Everything. Mm, mm, mm. Linda says my right mind. Oh my God, what great answers. What great answers. What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? She says, let's see, co-worker and genuine love, awesomeness, awesomeness. Anybody else? What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? Let's see here. For being an overcomer and who I am today. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Anybody else? Thank you for sharing today. Thank you for sharing today. Thank you. In everything, give thanks. In everything, give thanks. So I'm going to leave this last piece of information for you. Thank you for sharing what you're grateful for today. Now, I'm going to ask you this question because you're going to help me make the point. Can you tell a difference when you have a consistent, grateful attitude? Talk back to me. Can you tell the difference when you have a consistent, grateful attitude? Let me hear your responses. Can you tell the difference when you have a consistent, grateful attitude? Y'all talk back to me. I want to hear your answers. Can you tell the difference when you have a consistent, grateful attitude? Yes. They said, look at all that got the definitely, we got the absolutely. Yes. As somebody said, you're happier. Let me tell you something, family. Let me tell you where my life changed. And my life has, I've had many incarnations, I've had many shifts, many emergences or emerged through different stages, many cocoons. One of the most profound things that has ever happened to me are two things. Two things. Number one, when I decided that I was just going to love unconditionally, love myself and love people unconditionally. And number two, when I decided that I was just going to co-create my reality, shape my mentality, shape my psychological paradigm with thanksgiving, thankfulness, gratefulness, praise. That's the filter. Those are the filters that are installed, that are me, that are a part of me. There's nothing like knowing how to be grateful, knowing how to be gracious, knowing how to be thankful. Listen, even when you're hurting, if you say, Lord, I thank you. Even if something negative happens and shows up in your world, well, I'm just thankful it's not worse. I'm just grateful it wasn't worse. Your child wrecked the car. Baby, I'm thankful you alive. Come on now, somebody. Somebody just stole something from you. Well, I'm just grateful that they didn't steal more, and I'm thankful that it's coming back to me. Oh, you hear me? I want you to understand, not only does your physiology respond to praise, but God responds to praise. The spiritual dimension responds to praise and thanksgiving and a positive attitude. And when you and I allow that to be a part of how we interpret our reality, Family, let me tell you, there's nothing like it. I have lived on the, watch this, the negative, dark, pessimistic side decades ago. I used to live on that side. I've lived on the complaining side decades ago. It's just not any fun. It's just not productive. Am I making any sense? If you're watching me tonight and you saw all of these responses from people who are grateful and practice being thankful every day, see the responses, see how it has positively shaped their lives. It also helps you to deal with stress a lot better. There's less stress when you're thankful. It's hard to be stressful and thankful. Family, it's hard to be depressed and you're thankful. I mean, depression comes, but I'm just saying it's difficult. Even when it comes, you won't bottom out like you used to because you have programmed yourself to be thankful. You have programmed yourself to be grateful. You have programmed yourself to focus on the positive and not the negative. Come on now, somebody. You say, well, they gave so-and-so the position and I should have got it. Well, what that means is you get a better position. Come on now. There's no need to be angry with so-and-so who got the position and angry with so-and-so who promoted them. Stop creating conspiracy theories or stop aligning with conspiracy theories. Come on now. Just learn how to be grateful and you'll be amazed at opportunities that will be presented to you, all because, hear me, you are a walking, talking, vibrating praise and worship temple. That's who and what you are. You can relate to God better. You can relate to spiritual things better. You can relate to natural things better. You can relate to haters better. You can relate to potentially negative situations better. You can relate to your enemies better when you're just thankful. There's something about smiling in the face of your enemy. Did you hear what I just said? That's something about just smiling in the face of your enemy. It's confusing when you're happy and your enemy wants you to be sad, but you're still gleeful, you're still joyful. Come on now. That's just confusing to your enemy. Am I making any sense to anybody? So if you craft a mindset that's filled with praise, worship, thanksgiving, positivity, a positive polarity, you're going to be amazed. Hallelujah. How things that would have normally felt like it was going to destroy you, or things that have destroyed even other people, won't be able to touch you. All right. Last but not least, that's right. You'll live longer. Last but not least, on a scale of 1 to 10, I appreciate y'all participating tonight because this was me checking on you and we checking on each other. 1 lowest, 10 highest. How you feeling right now? Talk back to me. Rate yourself 1 to 10. How you feeling right now? This is a subjective answer, so there's no judgment. 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. How are you? Look at that. We got a 10. We got a 10 coming in. Who else? Who else? We got an 8 coming in. Who else? Who else? Anyone else? I'm going to say a prayer over you. I'm going to say a prayer over you, and then I'm going to release you. Anybody else want to share how you're doing? We got an 8. Wonderful. Whatever you put is what you put. 8.5, awesomeness. Anybody else? We celebrate you and salute you wherever you are on the scale. Somebody might put 2. I won't judge you. All right. Anybody else? We got them coming in. Y'all, some high scorers. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Almighty, I just thank you for everybody who's viewing me now. I thank you that you promise to never leave us nor forsake us. We're keeping our hearts and minds stayed on you, and you're keeping us in perfect peace. And I just bless you for all those who checked in tonight. As I was checking on them, you were checking on them, and we were checking on each other. We're encouraging each other that we're going to make it. We're going to do great things. We're going to live lives that are pleasing. We're going to live lives that are successful. We're going to impact others in a positive way. And we thank you in advance for it. In the name of Jesus the Christ, the Yeshua HaMashiach, it is so, and so it is. You can use the giving opportunities at the bottom of the screen if you want to give an offering tonight. Did anybody have any questions before we got off here? Any questions? Any questions? Thank you. This is your first time, Lynn. Watch out now, Lynn. Watch out now, Lynn. Thank you. I know Lynn, been knowing Lynn for years, a beautiful soul. Anybody have any questions before we get off? We've been advising you the whole way, but you might still have a question. And if you want to sow into our lives tonight, into the ministry, just use the giving opportunities that's at the scrolling ticker, the bottom of the screen. All right. Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments? Look at y'all showing up tonight. I appreciate you. Y'all doing good. You're doing well. And I'm expecting great, great testimonies from you. If you should ever need me, don't hesitate to reach out. And ask a question or encourage me. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to release you. Lynn Ware reminded me of a prophecy I gave her 20-some years ago. And I had even forgotten until she reminded me. And once she reminded me, I went back in time. But what she didn't understand is that when she reached out to me, it was opportune, it was a critical moment, and it was a necessary moment that I needed to hear what she said. She didn't know she was checking in on me. She didn't know that God was guiding her to check in on me, and God was guiding her to encourage me. All right. We ended up talking on the phone, and the rest is history. So this is what I did tonight. I'm encouraging you. I'm empowering you. I'm making deposits in you tonight. I want you to know that somebody cares. God cares, and I care. And there are a few others in this world that care about you. The strong struggle. But when the strong struggle, there's somebody to help the strong, just like there's somebody to help the weaker. I want you to know that I'm always here for you. And if you're ever going through, reach out. If you reach out to me, I will respond. I will reply. I will pray. I will do whatever's in my power to help bring you up and help you get over and help you get through. I want you to type this last thing in the comment section. Type this last thing in the comment section. I am not alone. Come on, type that in the comment section. I am not alone. Type that in the comment section. I am not alone. Yeah, I tell you, when Lynn reached out, it was powerful. It was powerful. It was powerful. I'll tell her more about it later. I am not alone. Own this, because sometimes this is how we might feel, but you're not alone. God is with you. God is a part of you. And God will position people in our lives to help us walk through situations and circumstances. Sometimes it's people you wouldn't even expect who will show up for you and make these rich, necessary deposits to propel you and push you through it. Oh my God, I feel the presence of God. Love y'all so dearly. Again, thank you for those who are using Cash App, AG Green Ministries, Zelle, and Chime. I'm going to release you tonight with a shalom blessing. There were no questions. There's nothing but blessings. I release you tonight with the shalom blessing. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing and nothing broken. It is so, and so it is. Love you so dearly. Enjoy your evening.